Hello and welcome to a special episode of the Low Rollers. My name is Trey.
My name is Brian, and because this is a special episode, I'm happy to be here.
And I'm RJ, and we're talking about orcs.
Which is always a thing to be happy about. So the Ork Codex has basically leaked out. There's still things we haven't seen from it yet, like if there's actually going to be Crusade rules or not. That's still up in the air. What the bestiary fully looks like and all that stuff. But before we get into the actual leaks, GW did put out an article about what our 11th edition codexes are going to look like, which is pretty interesting. So the first big thing they showed us here is that they're going to come in a little sleeve. They are paper, as they'd said. They're smaller. They're cheaper. They're going to come in a little sleeve that you're probably going to lose immediately, but hey, it's there. Thanks. The cool thing is they gave us the contents page, which is another reason why I think we're probably not getting Crusade rules in here, because unless they're on the next page after the data sheets, they're not on here. But it's got lore. It's got a breakdown of the clans. It's got if you want to collect orcs, here's the different ways to do it. It's got army rules, detachments, and data sheets, of course.
So do we think that they're just going to come out with one big Crusade book that's got everything in it?
It's possible. I think there's also a chance they just want you to use their new Crusade deck.
I
Go ahead.
swear that's what they said.
So they hinted at it, but they never gave a confirmation that Crusade was dead, right?
I don't think it's dead. I think they just made it different for this edition.
I don't disagree with you. It's different for sure. I think if you were somebody that liked to play old Crusade, for you, Crusade is probably dead.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Because it is a different game mode now than it was before. Now it is play a few games with these changes that you draw from these cards as compared to play a full narrative campaign. I'm not saying the new version's bad. I still want to try it. It's definitely different.
Yeah, because the cards have a narrative campaign, because I've looked at them,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a narrative campaign of Armageddon.
Yeah.
My curiosity will be is like whenever these campaigns, these kind of things come out, like Christmas time, as I'm expecting, the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not a Christmas person, that we might get another deck, and then that's how I'm going to guess they're going to go. Anyway, sorry.
Right.
Off topic.
I think you're probably right, though. But the other cool thing about these is they tell us there's going to be a lot of lore. So when they say a lot of lore, the 2024 Codex, which was 10th edition, had about 40 pages of lore. This one has over 100, or nearly 100, they say. Which is cool. I mean, if you're paying all this for a codex anyway, it should have lore in there for you to read.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and they're talking about moving more towards a narrative game style. I think lore would be very important. So it makes sense for them to push more lore into the codexes.
Yes. And they've got one of the bestiary entries here, I'm assuming, for the hunter rig and the kill rig. It shows very prominently brand new art we haven't seen before of a hunter and a kill rig. And it looks to me, tell me what you guys think about this. It looks to me like one of the pages is primarily models, and then more work was put into the dude by the tear to make him look like he's not a model, even though he definitely is, right? He's got more of an artistic like layering over him, but he's definitely still just a model of a Catachan jungle fighter. But it looks cool. It's a good way to do it, I think.
It could have just been the way they scanned the page in or something.
Yeah, could be. But I like this bestiary style a lot.
I do too, because if this is how they paint them, for me, who is not a paint by numbers, but if that's what my army is supposed to look like,
a purist,
I don't have to guess. Thank you. That's the word.
Yeah, no.
So I like that a lot.
Another cool new thing they're adding is a collector's guide. So, like, hey, if you want to play Evil Sons. Here are 6 key detachments themed around each one. So here's the Evil Sons the detachment assortment, right? You run these together with these models, and that's how you can play Evil Sons. Again, we're in an edition where a lot of new people are playing. A lot of people came in at the tail end of 10th or at the start of 10th, but are now picking up new armies. That's a really cool idea.
Like me.
Yeah.
In fact, I could swear I said, I'm never going to do orcs, and then you made me do it.
They're so cool.
They are. They're goofy.
They are.
And what's the one that's painted blue? What are they called?
Those are Death Skulls.
So I can look at how to play Death Skulls.
Yeah. And what to collect next.
Yep.
Which one of them would have been Ludas. We'll talk about those in a minute. Also, they mention again the code doesn't just give you access in the app. They say it also gives you access to additional content throughout the life of the edition, new rules, more lore, and new detachments. And then they say those are only a few of the things you'll see. Who knows what that means? But also, when you use the code for the app, you will finally be able to have your Ork Legends units rules in there, which is great for me. I'm so excited for that. I don't have a lot of Orks Legends units, but I have a few that I could run. They're not very Beast Snagga themed, but they're fun. So that's great.
I'm looking forward to finally getting some legend units because all my stuff some of my stuff I assume will get turned to legend.
We'll get into the list in just a minute, unless you're talking about with Space Marines.
Oh, Space Marines, because I haven't actually got any orc. All my orcs are from the Armageddon box and Wazdaka, so I don't think I have anything.
That's fair. I wouldn't think so.
Yeah.
All right. Any other thoughts about the way they've laid out the codexes here? Or you like it? You don't like it?
Before we move on, this is kind of off topic. What the heck orcs are in that picture at the very bottom at the top? It looks like a mech.
So it's the new mech. It's a big mech with shock attack gun. It's a big mech in mega armor. And it's a big mech with the force shield and tele rocket.
Okay. I don't think I've seen the mech model. I don't think I've ever seen the other 3 models.
Oh, the shock attack gun has some great rules in this codex, by the way. That's ugh. My wife, who also plays orcs, we have very different orc armies. She has a big mech with shock attack gun, and she, in 9th edition, absolutely murdered my Death Company Dreadnought with it. In 9th edition, it had a fun rule that I'm not going to spoil anything for people that don't want the codexes to be leaked for them. In 9th edition, the rule was you could lift things off the ground and then drop them to the ground again by giving them fly, hitting them with anti-fly, and then taking away their fly, and they would take mortal wounds. A variant of that is back.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. So
I can't, because I'm old, I can't remember what I was going to say about why I was happy with the codex. Oh, I know. See, that's great. I can remember. If I just keep talking, I'll remember what I want to talk about. I noticed in what we saw early on and what we have seen since then, since we started recording this, is that the codexes do not have points for their stuff.
Yes.
For the units.
Unless there's a page we haven't seen.
Well, I firmly believe that, and also we haven't seen the detachments yet. And I'm going to bet, even though they confirmed that a lot of them are 1-point detachments.
Oh, detachment points, yeah.
Yeah, we don't know what the big one is.
I assume all of that's in the app.
I assume, and I think they're going to keep it in the app because how frustrating was it for you guys when they would change something? You'd get your codex. In fact, you guys talked about it. You get the codex and it's already out of date.
Yep.
And this prevents that from happening. Well, I don't know if it prevents it, but it definitely minimizes that kind of thing. So you can always have your codex with you.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a great choice. Especially because the field manual is so easy to access now. There's no reason to put the points in the codex.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think that we complain about GW a lot, and I think this is where we kind of give them their kudos for doing something a lot of us have
Yeah.
wanted.
I definitely, I'll give them their kudos now because I'm about to complain in a minute. So.
Oh, good. I'm glad I could get you off your anti-GW kick for a moment.
Oh, I'm not anti-GW. I just, they make choices I don't like to. I will give people now this warning. From this point on in the podcast, we're going to be showing leaks. If you don't want to see those leaks, come back to this after you've got your codex in your hand so you can hear our thoughts on it. And maybe laugh at us if there's a page that wasn't in the leaks. But we're operating off of, I would say, other than the lore, 95% of the codex right now.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's about right.
I feel like we don't have much out of context, But any other thoughts from you two before we move into the codex?
No, I think you're right. I say, and this is, well, I will say this. This is typically, for anybody that's new, this is typically the way it works. We typically end up with most of the codex, if not all of it, leaked the Wednesday or Thursday before the release or pre-release, I guess, technically. So we were really surprised. I was really surprised because they thought it wasn't going to happen. They were worried it wasn't going to happen.
I'll freely admit I didn't think we were getting it. I was waiting for it Monday and Tuesday, and it didn't happen.
Yeah, and so when it finally came through, everybody's like, "Oh, okay." So they're still doing the same process with pre-orders and everything. They're not trying to hide it all the way up until then.
Yeah.
So,
Ryan, any last thoughts?
I think I pretty much said my piece. I'm just excited for everything. This is my first new edition, and now that I have Orks, I'm excited for this codex. I've already pre-ordered this codex.
Nice, me too.
So I'm excited and I've seen some things already, and I'm just excited to apply them once I paint my army, which will probably be a year from now. But but yeah, I so far there's nothing for me to complain about because I'm not a old bitter GW player.
Right. There you go. I think he's taking shots at this, RJ.
No.
First things first, let's cover, it's not technically a leak because GW showed us it themselves. The list of data sheets in this codex they showed in this article, and there's a couple big things not here. The first big one that a lot of people noticed right away was there's no Ludus and there's no Burnas. Yeah, they're not here. There's no variant data sheet where you can still run them. The good news is you can just run them as they are. You don't need new bases for them or anything. Just slot them into your knob squads or slot them into your boys squads as the boss knob of the boys. But I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm upset about those two, but Ludus have been the Death Skulls unit for a long time, and then Burnas are just great. And so it is kind of a shame to see them go, but I'm assuming at some point we're going to get updated versions of them.
Other websites, other podcasters seem to think that as well.
Yeah,
whether it be this edition or 12th, we don't know.
I'd be surprised if Ludus didn't come back.
Well, I would be, and their thought process was most likely we have given boys a way to take special weapons now, and we've given knobs a way to take special weapons now. And so those are going to fill the gaps for the Ludas and Burnas until we get to the point that we want to bring them back.
Yeah, most likely. I'm not upset about them. The War Boy has also been taken to Legends, and I'm a little sad about that. Mostly because I literally put in a bid for one on eBay this morning before I saw that it got moved to Legends, but it's fine.
War Boy?
Yeah, he's like a weird boy, but more beastly. He's a beast snag of weird boy.
Okay.
He's a snake bite weird boy, but he's a word boy. He's electric. But the big shame to me is we lost 4 of the most fun data sheets in the game, and I don't just mean in Orks, I mean in the game. You can still run them. They combined them all into war buggies as a datasheet, and when I tell you they combined them all, your first thought is going to be, okay, well, there's war gear options to be able to run all 4 of them, right? No, there's not. They're just gone. You play them in Legends, which is fine. I'll play them in Legends. My missus has all 4 of these, I believe. But the Boostaburna, the Megatrack Scrapjet, the Shock Jump Dragsta, and the Boondocka Snazwagon, which that last one has the best name out of any unit in all of Warhammer, are now all Legends. All of them. And they only came out in like 2018.
Yeah, I feel like they're trying to rework a bunch of stuff, like model wise,
It's
and
also...
so that's why we're.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I would say that's why we're getting that, because the Snazwagon came with the. Didn't one come in the Speed Freak thing
So
that came out in like 8th edition?
the Speed Freak box had a Scrapjack, it had a Snazwagon, and it had a Squig Buggy.
Yeah. So it's kind of odd that we've already legend
Mhm.
that after 1 edition, basically, because that didn't. The Orc stuff in that 8th edition didn't come out until like late 8th
Yeah, it was pretty
edition.
late.
So we got 1 edition with it, two editions with it, I
Yeah.
guess.
And-
And now it's gone.
Granted, it has been tough to use all of them in the end of 10th, the start of 11th for sure, with the new terrain layouts. There's just not a lot of room for big, fast, or small, fast buggies, I guess. But also, the shock jump could move through terrain. So there were still ways to play it, and there still will be with the Legends datasheet, I'm sure. But the War Buggies datasheet does not fix it. It's a good datasheet, don't get me wrong. You're going to want to use them for it, and you can use them as easy proxies for it, because there is no official kit for the War Buggy, because it's assuredly going to get a box that lets you build one of these as a War Buggy. But it just kind of sucks that we lost all 4 of them at once, and then still kept all 4 versions of the Jet.
Yeah.
But that's everything going to Legends, so that's not terrible. Armies have had far worse before, but it's still kind of a bummer, especially for the Snazwagon.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and it always seems like the cool thing about Orcs is they'll move something out of rotation for a little bit because they're not sure it fits the edition.
Yeah.
And then like the next edition will come out or the end of that edition will come around and they're like, okay, so we're moving into this new edition. We're going to change a bunch of stuff. We should bring this back, that back, and this back. It's kind of like how Disney like vaults certain movies so that they're not out in active rotation. So I feel like that's what GW does with its Legends a lot of times. Now, don't get me wrong, there is stuff that just stays dead once it goes to Legends. But Orcs is one of those things where you can move stuff to Legends, and it's super easy to just shift it back out with a new model.
Yeah, and everybody gets excited when you do.
Yeah. I mean, and they're one of the easiest to do it with. So out of everything that gets Legend, Orc stuff getting Legend typically is not 100% this is dead and never going to be seen again. Yeah. It's more of a, hey, we're not feeling like this is a good fit for this edition. We're going to rotate it out, let it set on the back burner for a little bit, and then either bring it back towards the end of this edition or bring it maybe back in next edition.
Yeah, the new model that you have to buy.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, Disney does the same thing to up hype of movies and stuff. So like they're pulling out of a good playbook there.
Well, and nobody thought the War Track was going to come back, so like, hey. All right. Well, that's our Legends for this edition. We're gonna dive fully into these leaks here. We have every detachment leak now, and then we have bunch of data sheets. I figured we could start with some of these detachments and just move around a little bit. There's not much to talk about with some of these because we've already covered a bunch. I don't feel like we need to just sit here and go, well, here's every stratagem for this detachment, especially when some of the pictures are kind of hard to see.
We don't know because obviously these are leaks, which detachments are for which brand of, which flavor of Orks for those who are learning and may want to
I
Do we?
can't
Not
tell
yet?
you what GW says they're going to be, but I can tell you by theme which ones are which.
Okay.
Of course, Warhorde's your generalist, right? Everybody can
Yeah.
run Warhorde. That's just the WA. I assume that's going to be 3. Other content creators assume it's going to be 2. Detachment points, we'll find out. I kind of
Well,
hope it's
everything
2.
else-
I'm really leaning towards the not having any 3s and just having 2s and a bunch of 1s.
I wish every army was like that.
I think it just I think for each codex, so they'll all be 1, 2, and a bunch of 1s, and then as we get to midpoints of the year when they start releasing Battle Force boxes and other things, when they do that, that's when they release, because that's my experience this past year since I've been playing, that we get around Christmas time, and then we get a Battle Force, and you get new
Grotmas.
detachments for certain things. Grotmas, sorry. So I kind of expect that that's when we'll get new 2-point detachments. And I don't think I mean that's purely a speculative guess on my part.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why you'd make it 3, because then you're either running that 3 or tons of combinations of 1s, which sounds like fun, but at a certain point, it's
Also, don't you
I've already
sell more
seen-
models with just 1s and 2s?
well, possibly, but for the tournaments, I've seen certain tournament players run a 2-point detachment with no 1 point.
Yeah.
So that could happen too, where somebody's just like, well, we're just going to pick these 2, and then who cares about the one, any of these solos don't really go, any of these 1-pointers don't really go with what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, could be.
So
Before, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I said anyway. I was literally saying anyway, so you could segue back
There
to
you
what we
go.
were talking about.
Before we get into all these attachments, though, some general thoughts on the Codex. I think Orks have a ton of fun ways to get riled up. I think a lot of these data sheets are very strong, but they've also lost a lot of their extra feel no pains. I think we're going to see, like, Beast Snagga Boys, for instance, have lost their feel no pain, which will definitely make them easier to chew through, but they've gained more anti-monster and anti-vehicle. And we see that all over this codex of stuff that has gotten more killy, but has gotten harder to keep alive. Now, there are some standouts that still have things, like some things have gained the Space Marine -1 toughness if the strength is higher, as Brian and I were talking about this morning, I believe.
A couple of units have, if your strength is higher than the toughness of the weapon, -1 to wound.
Which is really cool. But on the whole, it feels to me like Orks have gotten more killy, but also more easy to be killed. But they're going to be way more fun to play in the process of being killy. And I'm so excited to play Orks.
I agree. I think that it's curious. Now that we've seen what this looks like, I kind of want to see the next one, and not because I'm a Space Marine player, but I want to see if that's the same thing.
Yeah.
Will Armor of Contempt go away?
Right.
Things like that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It'd be cool if the edition becomes more killy overall and less survivable, just because of how long games take right now. Which is not just a problem in our group, just clarify.
Unless you're going against Chaos Demons with 2 Greater Demons and a Knight, and you don't have anything but Rhinos. Right, RJ?
They've got to become less tanky, too.
Yeah.
That's part of the process.
Did we lose RJ?
I'm here.
Trying to defend your actions tonight.
What, me taking rhinos?
Well, no, not. Well, it's just not you taking Rhinos. I'm just saying that's all you could take, and
I love you bringing up a game the audience has no idea for, with no pictures that we're going to post of it, because nobody took any pictures.
Look, just because I took nothing but infantry into a demon horde with a bunch of greater demons doesn't mean anything. I knew what I was getting myself into when I sat down and saw what was across from me. I went, well, not much I can do about it now.
Yeah. So, our first big detachment, of course, being Warhorde. Friendly Ork units have stains. A sustained hit 1 for their melee. That's a good general. It's all melee, which is fine. There's some plenty good shooting later, and it's got good enhancements with good strats. I'm not going to sit here and assume that both of you had time to look over all the enhancements and all the strats. I figure if we want to do a deep dive on these next Monday, we can. But it's just going to be a really solid detachment. The ability to give stuff +2 move, the ability to give extra AP on melee, to rile stuff up, fall back, charge. It's very, very solid.
Mm-hmm.
It looks solid. It looks like it's going to be a good catch-all if you don't know what you're doing, don't know what you want to do, and you've just got a bunch of units.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is going to be one of those detachments where the new player's coming in, he's gotten like a combat patrol and the battle box.
Yeah.
And he's like, I've got a bunch of just everything. And so this will be a really good one for them to just be like, oh, this is going to be just my generic, I'm running this.
Yeah.
So.
Which, makes sense since it's a 2-pointer.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully.
I'm going to go out right now and say it's going to be a 2-pointer. That's my prediction.
Okay.
Write it down here.
If it's not, you have to paint an orc before you paint whatever your next model would be.
I'm currently painting sisters, thank you, but I will make that bet, sir.
All
you
right.
can tell me out of whatever Armageddon box, whatever model in the Armageddon box, because I have that.
Okay.
You have to tell me what model to paint.
Make Weird Boy. We're gonna make him paint the Weird Boy.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
All right. But what happens when it is 2 points? What are you going to paint?
Oh.
Which one of your 10,000 things you still need to paint? What ultramarine are you going to paint, sir?
Oh.
I haven't built Captain Titus yet, but I could paint Captain Titus.
Well, you better get building because I know you can't paint without building them.
Okay. Well, we'll see how that goes. That's fun. We
right.
should do this more often. Next up, we have Green Tide. Green Tide is more infantry based. This is most likely going for the Goff style of run a bunch of infantry, run a big horde. Friendly boys. Units' melee attacks have sustained hits 1, and if a friendly Orks infantry unit made a charge move this turn, that unit's melee attacks have lethal hits on non-monsters and vehicles. And this is where I want to bring up a datasheet thing. So, because we don't yet have the Codex Boys datasheet, we only have what they showed us on Warcom, that boys unit doesn't have the boys keyword. And we have the datasheet for Beast Snaggle Boys, and they don't have the boys keyword anymore. So I'm assuming when it says friendly boys unit, it literally means the unit called boys, not the keyword for boys. Which matters. It may not seem like it matters, but it means that Beast Snaggle Boys don't get sustained hits 1. They will get the second one because they're Orks infantry, but they don't get the first one. And there are strats in here that buff Beast Snaggle Boys as well. So they're specifically calling them out, but they're not saying friendly boys and Beast Snaggle Boys units. So that's a very interesting wording on there that I think was done on purpose to avoid giving lethal hits and lethal hits. So lethal hits against non-infantry, lethal hits against infantry, and sustained hits. Yeah, on their melee. I think they're trying to avoid giving all of that to them, which is fair.
So there's no possible way, just this is going to be a little getting ahead of herself. There's no possible way this is a 1-pointer.
They all are, supposedly, according to Games Workshop, according to Warcom. Everything that's not Warhorde is a 1-pointer.
So you're telling me if I take Warhorde and it's 2,
yeah,
and then I take Green Tide and it's 1,
yeah,
that now my boys have sustained hits 2 on their melee attacks?
I don't think they would stack, right? You would just have 2 instances of sustained hits 1?
Why wouldn't they? That's how it works when you give something sustained hits with a strategy.
And it already does. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, that'd be pretty strong.
2 and lethals.
It would just be on the boys, thankfully, but...
Yeah, but I'm taking 40 of those.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. I don't disagree. There's also an upgrade enhancement that gives you +1 attacks for each boy.
Ugh. Yeah. So, I mean, if they're wanting to crank it up that much, sure, but that's... That's a
Telling you.
lot.
They're going to be killy.
That's a lot. That's good Lord. I don't even want to I don't even want to do the math on that.
If you have 11 or more in the unit, then it gets +2 attacks. Now, that wording's also very precise and very important, because how big is your boys unit if you have the knob attached to it and then you give it a support character?
22.
I mean, there's just the 10, right? So
Oh,
you're already
yeah.
hitting 11 just by giving it a support character. So then, it is a model. It's not the unit. It's a model. So if this unit has 11 plus models, so it would still work, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I thought that this is an enhancement, right? Or
Yeah.
stratagem.
It's an enhancement.
I think the enhancement goes if this model. If am I wrong where it says if this model is in this unit, then the model gets.
The model's melee attacks have, but if this unit has 11 plus, so you could give a big boss +2 attacks on its heavy chopper.
Oh, you can give him a 4-up save too.
Yep.
But it's not it doesn't look like an invuln. It looks like just a 4-up, right?
Yeah.
So you'd move their save down, which is very nice.
I'd rather take the invuln. Anyway.
Then we have bully boys. This is your junkyard boys. This is your mega knobs. Friendly mega knobs and knobs units attacks have sustained hits 1. That's still going to be a very, very good one for your knobs. Because again, as RJ was talking about, if you take Warhorde and bully boys, if you can, then your knobs now have sustained hits too.
But also, if everything but Warhorde is 1, that means I can take Green Tide, I can take Bully Boys, and then I can take like Fly Boys, which is later on in what we're going to talk about.
You could.
And everything will have all of those attachment rules. So then my whole army is like 2 units of boys, some mecha knobs, and like jump pack boys.
Yep.
Fly boys.
Also, my wife has a bunch of mega knobs, so I'm not looking forward to fighting this every time I play her for a while. I love, by the way, that you can give a mech in mega knob or in mega armor the ability to deep strike. Just and it's this unit, so it also gives it to a unit he's attached to, because it's not this model has. It's this unit has deep strike.
Doesn't one of the epic heroes have mech armor as their keyword?
Don't remember. We can check in just a minute.
I don't think you can give enhancements to epic heroes.
But no, this is a fun one. Being able to force desperate escapes on units that try to run from your knobs is also really good.
Oh, that's really good. I wish Emperor's Children. I wish I knew if Emperor's Children had something like that. I feel like they might, but I haven't looked through all their stratagems and stuff to see.
No, I agree. Also, just knobs being able to keep fighting on death because they're too arrogant to die. I love it. I love it. Then we have Tactical Brigade. This is your sneaky. This is I can't remember what they're called right now. The
Storm Boys.
The Storm Boys are in there, yeah, but it's the sneaky clan, the one that paints their stuff purple.
Oh yeah.
It'll come to me. I still have the article up that has that page where I can see all the clans. It's the Evil Sons, isn't it?
Purple. I thought they're yellow.
The Stabba Boys.
The Bad Moons are yellow.
Oh, okay.
I think it's them, but somebody can correct me in the comments. I am up on my orc lore, but the stealthy boys with Boss Snickrot haven't been in the lore for a little bit. Hopefully this codex fixes that. But friendly Storm Boys have battle line. It's already great. I can't believe we didn't get a new Storm Boys kit with all this releases when they were going to be like prominently talked about throughout the lead up to this codex. But oh well. When a friendly boys, commando, or Storm Boys unit selected to make a fallback move, that fallback does not stop them from making a charge. So you take this, you take both the previous ones, and now your boys unit with the knobs in there have sustained hits 2 and fallback and charge, even when they're not riled up.
Huh. Orcs. This is definitely looking like a what, ninth edition pylon. Just everything gets stronger as we go.
Yep. I'm telling you, they want the edition to be more killy because they're tired of how long games are taking. I cannot tell you the number of times that I've seen people talk about, any content creators, but also just other people on the internet, talk about, hey, our tournament had to call things on round 4 for everybody because the games were taking too long. So we talked out the way the game would end.
Uh,
At
Fair enough.
tournaments. It's crazy.
Yeah.
There's an enhancement here for Big Mech or War Boss infantry models. While this model is part of an attached unit, the model has infiltrators and stealth. The reason they had to specify infantry models is because technically you could have given this to the Death Killer Wartrike and had it lead a unit of commandos. And so they had to remove that stipulation. But some pretty good upgrades in here. And again, just commandos or strong boys getting lethal hits non-monster vehicle for an upgrade. Not bad at all. Now you get your Rekkas. That is, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was asking, I've seen, when I've talked over some winning orc lists, they've usually got at least one commando unit. What are they?
They are your infiltrators. They are cool. They have a sneaky grot that has a grapple launcher, and they have a little bomb squig, and they're awesome.
Okay.
They were actually one of the launching teams for the redo of Kill Team that they did. It was them and the Krieg unit.
Oh, okay.
In the Octarius box way back when. That box was what made my wife get into Orks.
Always something with GW. Everybody's got something. That's how I got into them.
Yep. It's also how she got into Imperial Guard, because she liked them both. They were going to be my Kriegsmen. Then we have the Rekkas. The Rekkas are more junkyard boys, but also at this point in the lore, tank busters and Rekka boys, Breaka boys, are kind of just like everybody has them now, which is kind of funny because Snakebites hated technology, but now Mazrog Scragbad has a mechanical arm, and now we have tank busters, and it's fine. It's cool. I like that we're embracing a little bit of tech. This is a fun rule. In your shooting phase, when a friendly Breaka Boy, Flash Gits, or Tank Buster unit selected to shoot, if any of the following apply, this unit's attacks can reroll hit rolls of 1. So it's if they're within range of an objective, or if they're attacking something within range of objective, which, if you remember, is a Votan rule. So that's cool.
They're learning.
Yeah. They have the best enhancement in the game, which is for Big Mechs or War Boss infantries. You can give them a captain's hat, and then they can take up to 3 friendly Ork infantry units and put them back in strategic reserves. Why do they get a captain's hat? Because that is what Captain Uriel of the Corsair Raiders does. Of the Eldar Pirates. Yep, they stole his hat.
Stole it. Dang it. They got to get it back.
So this would probably also be where you would play your freebooters, since freebooters don't have their own like dedicated attachment. This would be you'd splash this in for 1 and put your fancy 3D printed pirate hat on one of your war bosses, and that's your Captain Badrock. Yeah. And then Flash Gits can take a upgrade here that lets them have Rapid Fire 1. Flash Gits are terrifying with Rapid Fire 1. But also there's another detachment coming up that you splash with that, and Flash Gits become absolutely terrifying. Then we have my detachment, the Big Hunt. This is your Beast Snagus. The Hunt is on. Friendly Beast Snagga units attacks that target a monster vehicle have +1 AP. Remember, your Beast Snagga weapons all have Hunter on them, with a better profile to target monsters and vehicles. So you're just always getting +1 AP against them. It's not as good as the like mini Oath of Moment we had before, but I will take it.
Space Marines don't get Oath of Moment. You guys, nobody else does either.
That's fair. We do get the enhancement that lets us fall back and charge, so that's cool. And then there's also an enhancement for the Beast Boss on Squigosaur that gives him +1 toughness. The strats are really fun here. I like it. I'm excited to run it. It's nowhere near as strong as it was before, but the data sheets are strong now, and I think that's a better way to balance detachments, to have just fun detachments and good data sheets.
I think one of your stratagems there might be a book in itself.
Yeah, where'd you think you're going is it's long. There's a lot to it. But the short version of it is if they try to fall back away from you, they have to take a desperate escape. But also, if it's a monster or vehicle, they also make hazard rolls for each Beast Snagger that was engaged with them at -1.
That's nasty.
It's also
That's nasty.
3 hazard rolls for each Beast Snagger that was engaged with them.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Huh. Is there a limit?
No.
Good Lord.
Try to run from me?
Where do you think you're going?
Yeah. You know what counts as a Beast Snagger unit? The Kill Rig and the Hunter Rig.
Oh.
The Hunter Rig, because of a special rule, gets extra attacks for every Beast Snagger that's inside the transport feature of it. So, guess how many friendly Beast Snaggers would be in range if you try to move away after it hits you 34 times in melee?
A lot?
Yeah, 11.
Oh, wow.
3 additional rolls for each Beast Snagger unit it's engaged with. That's 2 units, so 6 just for
So
trying to move away
basically-
from the transport.
You don't move your way if you're a monster or vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just look at it and go, "Oh, I'm gonna stay here."
I want to preface this by saying I have 30 Beast Snagger boys, and I'm looking to get them more, like 10 more. And then I have 3 units of Squig Hogs that are also Beast Snagger units, and a Hunter Rig and a Kill Rig. I lost the bid to get another Kill Rig. I could theoretically surround a tank with 8 Beast Snagger units and make it roll 24 dice to try and Desperate Escape on top of its regular Desperate Escape roll.
It's dead. It's just dead. Just put it back in your box and go home.
It's silly. It's stupid. It'll never happen, but if it did. Then we have the Madcap Mechs detachment. I'm really excited for this one. I don't play Junkyard Boys, which is Junkyard Boys, to clarify, Brian, that is your Death Skulls, and that is your Bad Moons, right? They do a lot of stuff with scrap. Your Death Skulls and your Freebooters to a point. Your Death Skulls are stealing stuff all the time to be able to make new things, and your Bad Moons are strapping more armor onto themselves that they find in junkyards, right? And so Madcap Mechs can kind of work for all 3 of those. But in your shooting phase, when all of a friendly Big Mech Gun, Morkanaut, or Wazbomb Blastojet units ranged attacks target a single enemy unit, roll a d6. On a 1, that's weird. The target unit has a 4-up invuln save until your unit's done shooting. On a 2 to a 3, hop splat. Select one other enemy unit within 3 of the target. That unit suffers D3 mortals. On a 4, Seekers. Those attacks have +1 to hit. On a 5, Lifted. The target unit has fly, and it cannot have the benefit of cover until your unit has shot. And then on 6, Runtified. The target unit has -1 toughness until you're done shooting.
So you do realize that when you do that, you're going to roll a 1.
Yeah, every time.
You specifically.
Yeah, I know. But
RJ would get something different, but you and I.
the Big Mech with Shock Attack Gun has anti-fly. So if you get the 5, he gets the anti. He also has the best upgrade. The Big Mech with a Shock Attack Gun, when you're shooting with it, you roll another d6 on top of the other one. This one's completely separate. On a 1, the weapon has Torrent, and when this unit has shot, the Big Mech with Shock Attack Gun is destroyed. On a 2 through a 5, it has +1 attacks. And on a 6, it has sustained hits too. That's so good. Also, you could give another one an upgrade to the Big Mac with shock attack gun, which got all the flair here, right? Where after it's shot, it can be the enemy unit is infested with snotlings if it was hit, and that gives it -1 leadership.
Is it infested with snot?
Snotlings.
The hell are those?
They're like Gretchen, but smaller. And sometimes used as ammo.
Yep.
Then the last enhancement for any Big Mech model, they're riled up always, permanently. This is crazy for 1 detachment point. I mean, most of the time, you're going to do terrible things to yourself. But the times you don't, the Morkanaut gets these triggers. Like, that's wild. The Bubble Chucka is a mech gun. It gets these triggers.
That's so much fun.
So yeah, that's absolutely incredible. Then we get Dread Mob. This is more Junkyard Boys. So this is going to be your Bad Moons. This is going to be a little bit your Goths, because Goths love to run Killicans and Death Dreads. But then you're also going to get, obviously, your Death Skulls and things like that. This is the Try Dat Button detachment. In your shooting phase or the fight phase, when a friendly Ork Walker unit, not Titanic, is selected to attack, you can use this ability. Roll 1d6 or 2d6. If you roll 2d6, you have to make a hazard roll. But if you get a 1 or a 2, you get +1 attack. If you get a 3 or a 4, you get +2 strength. If you get a 5 or a 6, you get +1 AP. So now it is just always a benefit. The benefits aren't as good as it was when it was a 2-point detachment, but it's just always a benefit. I like it a lot. It's very strong. I like that it doesn't affect the Gorkanaut, the Morkanaut, and the Stompa, because it would be terrifying if you could give +2 strength to a Stompa, and then it 2-taps a Knight. But you know what else is a walker?
What?
The Big Mech Docker Rig is a walker.
Oh, okay. We just got those, right?
Yep. So even on a 1 or a 2, you're getting more attacks. I didn't mean to cut you off there, RJ. I'm sorry. Yes. Yes.
Reroll to 1.
It is a Big Mech. It is the Big Mech Docker Rig. So the Big Mech model can get Lone Op as long as it's within 3 of a friendly Ork Walker, excluding other Big Mechs. So the Big Mech Docker Rig, by the way, is a character, so it can take enhancements. I don't know why it's a character, but it is. So you could take this with the Big Mech and then run it next to other walkers like Death Dread or Killicans, and then you have 2 walkers side by side, but the Big Mech Docker Rig is Lone Op.
Unshootable until 12.
Yep. And also, it can select 1 friendly Ork Walker unit within 3. That unit can reroll hit rolls of 1 till end of turn. Now, the big thing to mention there is this does mean, because the way it's worded, if you have a regular mech or Big Mech, and you give, I guess it would just be the Big Mech for that one, it can't be next to the Big Mech Docker Rig and get the bonus, because the Big Mech Docker Rig is a Ork Walker that is also a Big Mech. Again, why they made it a character, I don't know, but this is a great enhancement to give it.
The +2 is pretty good too.
Yeah, +2 movement for sure.
Yeah.
Also, I know I haven't been talking a lot about all the strats, but there's a strat in here to just make your walker riled up till the start of your next turn.
Yeah, for 1 CP, you just go, that one.
Yeah. And you're still getting the WA turn. There's so many ways to rile people up in this. It's great.
I was going to say, we know a Orks player that one of her complaints is that you just, other than the WA turn, you were kind of just out there.
Yeah. They fixed it.
The Blitz Brigade's so good.
Yep. So Blitz Brigade, this is still more Junkyard Boys. which you're going to hear a lot. Because basically, Brian, the way that orcs are broken up, you have beast boys, you have Wa boys, and you have junkyard boys, right? So you have the guys that just focus on squigs for the most part, the guys that just focus on the junkyard for the most part, and mechs and things like that. And then you have the ones that just like to fight and will use anything. And then in those, you have your clans, right? Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Do trucks have the wagon keyword?
I don't remember. I can check.
I'm looking.
Okay, you're
Continue
checking. This means that these detachments are not, for the most part, we will see a few in a minute that are, for the most part, they're made to fit multiple of the clans so that you can take multiple and still be running your clan's themed thing. But this one, of course, is Junkyard Boys. Friendly wagon units can reroll charges. When a friendly wagon unit selected to make an advance move, it can change advance rolls to a 6. That's just great. You know what I mean? That's it's beautiful. Wagon units, also, if a big mech is embarked within them, their ranged attacks have ignores cover. And if it's riled up, their ranged attacks have sustained hits 1.
Oh, disappointing.
The truck's not a wagon.
It's a speed freak.
That makes sense. But the battle wagon and the gun wagon should both be wagons.
Yeah, they are. I'm looking at both of them.
And so you put a big mech in a gun wagon, the gun wagon now ignores cover, and when it's riled up, you take...
Go
ahead.
Your hunter rig and kill rig are wagons.
Ooh. That's really good for the hunter rig, especially with all the extra attacks. I know one of the 1-pointers I'm taking. Oh, it's good. The other upgrade is for wagons. While the war boss is embarked within them, they have that war boss's intimidating motivation or keep hunting ability, which is just, yes, that's so good. They also have the strat to be able to pick up an infantry unit that's nearby. Just yoink. Then we have the Cult of Speed. This is your Speed Freaks detachment. So when I mentioned that some of these are specific to clans, this is one of those. Friendly Warbikers have battle line, and when a friendly Speed Freaks unit selected to make an advance or fallback, that unit's ranged attacks have Assault till the end of the turn, and that move does not prevent them from being eligible to declare a charge. So at all times, Speed Freaks have advance and charge.
So that includes your trucks. Trucks are speed freak.
Yep, that includes your war buggies. That includes your Legends Shock Jump Dragsta Snaz Wagon. That includes the Squig Buggy. There's some really fun play there for sure. I like that a lot.
The enhancements could use some help.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Squig Buggies have their ability changed to where they can heal now. So a strat to make it where they heal more, that's fine. There's some really dumb fun stuff you can do with that.
Ooh.
But, you know.
Their enhancements are good.
Yes.
Their stratagems are good.
Yeah, I like them a lot. It's not what I want it to be, but I think it's very strong. And as you can see in the image up there, the War Track is also a Speed Freak unit. So
I'm intrigued to see how much more of this stuff we're doing, because we're seeing a lot in this codex of our units affecting other people's units and giving them stuff or taking away stuff.
Right.
Because one of the stratagems in here is your opponent's shooting phase whenever an enemy unit targets a friendly Speed Freak unit. That Speed Freak unit, ranged attacks that target your unit fail on a 1 to 3.
Yes.
Unmodified 1 to 3. So that basically just looks at a unit and goes, oh, you're hitting on 3-ups. And if I have the benefit of cover, it's really, I'd still 3-ups, I'd assume. But
also that ties in with the enhancement where you can give a Speed Freak unit the ability to give another unit of yours cover. So you can literally hide behind your own buggies and wagons and war tracks and war bikers. That's a cool way to play.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you want to, you can give the Def Killer War Track reroll charges. I mean, why wouldn't you? I figure we ought to be able to cover the last few of these detachments and then maybe get into some data sheets next week. What do you gentlemen think?
Sounds good to me.
We have Flyboys here. Friendly Orks aircraft units do not count towards the combined points value of your strategic reserves, which is kind of how you have to do that if you want to run a lot of aircraft. And then while a friendly Orks aircraft or Def Copter unit's riled up, that unit's ranged attacks have +1 to hit. You want to make the Docker rig good again, and that's not even the one that looks best from this. The Wazbomb Blastojet looks incredible with this. +1 to hit on the Teleporter Cannon, or whatever it's called. I don't remember the exact name. Is great. But then you can take the Fly Boss upgrade and make one of your planes a character, and after it ends its ingress move, each turn, each friendly Orks aircraft or Def Copter unit within 6 is riled up until the start of your next turn. So every time it comes in, all of the ones that come in around it are riled up. Because remember the way aircraft work now, you're going to come in, you're going to leave the same turn, and you're going to come back in next turn.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's really strong. Also, you can take an upgrade to make it where it can come in on turn 1. So you want your Wazbomb to come in on turn 1 and destroy a knight, and then leave and come back next turn and destroy something else? I think this is the closest we've ever been to actually having a cool rule set for aircraft that separates them from everything else, and they're not just another unit on the board. And I hope we get a detachment like this for every other army that has a good number of aircraft.
Interesting.
My wife has a Docket Jet, and she was making a Wazbomb out of another plane from a completely different game system. We may have to get back onto that kit bashing because this just looks fun to try.
You and your kit bashing.
I do love it. Then we have the Brute Bosses detachment. This one has Ard as Nails, which is Fight on Death for War Bosses. It's +1 to the roll if your unit's riled up, and on a 3-up, the War Boss fights on death. I want to clarify, this is for every War Boss. So, if you are running this is the Golf detachment, right? This is your Wah Boys. You run Brute Bosses, you run Gazgul Thraka, you run army of boys units with war bosses attached, and every time they die, you're fighting on death if you roll well enough. Now, there's some really fun stuff here, such as an upgrade that makes it where a war boss, once per battle, can use this ability, and on a 2-up, you get to set it back up on the battlefield as close as possible to where it was destroyed, unengaged, with 3 wounds remaining.
But you can have it fight on death and then still come back.
Yes.
It's really good.
It is. And then also there's another one that gives it +1 damage on its attacks. There's another one, because there's a ton of enhancements on this one, but no strats, which is a really interesting way to do it. Where transports that have a war boss inside have +2 move and a 5-up invuln. Another one that lets war bosses reroll hits of 1. Another one that makes it where at the end of your opponent's movement phase, if you're unengaged, that war boss can make a move up to D6.
No, that unit can make a move up to D6.
Yes, thank you. The war boss's unit can make a move. And if they're riled up, you get to reroll that D6, which is even more fun. It's Super cool. And then, of course, the last one, you take a Gobshot Thunderbus, which is a lethal hits for a non-monster vehicle, rapid fire 6 attacks at a 24-inch range, a little blurry, 4 up, strength 7, minus 2 AP, damage 2. Or is that damage 3? That's damage 2. That's just cool. Take a war boss with a Thunderbus.
That's crazy.
It fires gold-plated teeth. I love orcs.
You do.
Then we have the Warband. This is your Psyker detachment. Now, of course, because the Warboy has been put in Legends, if you're running at tournaments, you can only run 3 Weird Boys. But you can also run, as you can see in the picture, the Kill Rig has a Warboy at the top of it that isn't Legends. So you could have the 2 of them, and then you just run the Legends Warboy, and you have 3. Friendly Ork Psyker models, psychic attacks have +1 strength, and +1 strength for every 5 models in this unit. Or
embarked within
Yes.
this model.
Yes. So you put 20 boys. I guess you can't put 20 boys. If he can support 20 boys, then the Weird Boy gets +4 strength for his psychic attacks. It's crazy.
And then you can give him enhancements to give him different psychic attacks.
Yes. It's crazy. So right away, all of your Ork Psychers gain 2 abilities, 2 psychic spells they can cast. The Roar of Mork, psychic level 1. In your movement phase, if this unit's not battle shocked, you can make a psychic roll for it by rolling 1d6. If you do, on a 1, it's battle shocked. On everything else, select 1 enemy unit within 12. That unit makes a battle shock roll with -1 from the battle shock for every 10 models in this unit.
Make 2.
So pretty solid. It's nice just to have that for free as part of the detachment rule. Visions of Violence, I think, is a little more useful. At the start of the fight phase, if it's not battle shocked, you can make a psychic roll by rolling 1d6. Once you're battle shocked, anything else, your unit has fights first.
It's really good.
Also, this is our first psychic ability that isn't in the movement phase or in the shooting phase. It's in the fight phase. That's cool.
Other than the 2 weapons you can give that are psychic weapons to Warphead is actually really good enhancement because it gives them Psyker level 2, which means they can cast Visions of Violence and Roar of the Mork.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
I'm assuming that Weird Boys are going to be Psychic level 1, and so that you can only cast 1 of these a turn.
I'm assuming so. I haven't looked at the datasheet that much, but I do know it already has psychic spells it could cast too. So you're giving more options to it by taking Warphead for sure.
Yeah, well, and that's my assumption is that it's psychic because you wouldn't have this enhancement if they were psychic level 2 already.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to give them psychic level 2. So I'm assuming they're all going to be 1, and then they might have some psychic level maybe 0 stuff where you can cast it and then maybe cast some level 1s.
Yeah.
Or it's got some just generic abilities that are psychic that you can cast, and then you can choose between the psychic level 1s. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to look more like the Thousand Suns do now, or if they're trying to make it more like, hey, you can only really do 1 psychic a turn.
Yeah.
Like 1 psychic ability.
Unless you had 3 of them, and then you could do.
Yeah. But it's like each one's, hey, everything's basically going to be psychic level 1.
Yeah.
And if you're psychic level 2, you can cast 2. If you're psychic level 3, you can cast 3, is what it's seeming like it's going to be for now.
Yeah, I agree. It feels a lot like the AOS spell system, the rituals.
Yeah.
The Ed Banger was on the Armageddon datasheet for the Weird Boy, if you remember, but it's been moved to an enhancement, and he has a different weapon now. But it is roughly that same weapon. It's just now an enhancement, probably because he was already very strong without it, so now you have to pay for it.
Fair enough.
Then they have DeCrunch, which is for an Ork Psyker, model only. It's Blast. Is that 2 or 3?
3.
It looks like 3, yeah. Hazardous
3
lethal hit
hazardous
psychic.
lethal hit psychic. Yeah. Psychic ignores all modifiers.
Yes.
That is something to point out. That's
Yes.
very important.
24-inch range, 3 attacks, but it's blast 3. 4 up, strength 5, minus 1 AP, damage 1, or damage 3. It's kind of hard to tell with how blurry that is, but that's that's what happens when you're looking at leaks. Looks like damage 1 to me, but
Yeah.
very good. This is a great detachment. And we only have 2 left. We didn't get the Blitz. We did, the Blitz Brigade. It's right there.
Yeah.
I'm dumb. The Runt Swarm and the Shooter Boys, we saw these already. We talked about these already, but now we have them in context with everything else. Just as a quick reminder, the Runt Swarm is Gretchen have battle line, and Gretchen can still do an action if they advance or fall back. And the Shooter Boys is Orks ranged infantry attacks have assault, and if they're riled up, they have +3 to their range. In the context of everything else we've seen, these became much stronger at one point than they were before.
Oh yeah, because you could give them so Ork infantry units have a ranged attacks have assault, and then giving them sustained hits 1 is really good.
Which is why Ludas didn't need to be here, I guess. But Flash Gets with this are going to be so rough to deal with.
Yeah. I mean, the enhancement here that gives anti-infantry 4 up, devastating wounds, and super hazardous is crazy.
Yeah. And it almost is made for Flash Gets because it's a super glowy thing.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's... they're going to be good. I don't know. It's a little scary.
Yeah, I think we're going to be...
We're going to have
a
some
lot of
Ork... Until the Space Marine Codex comes out, we might have some Ork-dominated tournaments.
Yeah. Also, on the Gretchen's data sheet, they have a rule. They have sticky objectives now, but they also have a rule where they take up half space of a model for like transport. So instead of taking up the space of 20 Gretchen, they take up the space of 10, right? So if you can give them battle line and take 60 of them
In a wagon?
Yeah.
In a truck? You just put 60 of them in a truck and they all jump out and start beating something up?
I think
The
unironically...
definition of...
Go ahead, sorry.
I said the definition of mob violence.
Yeah. I think unironically you can put 5 full squads of Gretchen in a Stompa.
And then they come out riled up.
Yeah, they come out riled up.
The Stompa was running so quick, they got shook up in there, kind of like popcorn. And then she was just like, be free.
Yep. So yeah, I think this is already, just based on the detachments alone, before we get into any of the data sheets Monday, based on the detachments alone, I think this is incredible.
Yeah. Yep, it's going to be interesting, and it'll make it even more interesting when you start going through the data sheets. I was glancing through them to look at the truck to see if the truck had the wagon keyword, because I thought it did in 8th edition. I thought it had the wagon keyword.
Yeah.
But it doesn't this edition, so that's disappointing. But I was glancing at some of the data sheets just down through there, and they look pretty good. So not only are the detachments good, I think the data sheets are going to be good. So as per usual, it seems like we're going to have some balancing issues. Either that, or they're just going to go, wait for the Space Marine Codex to come out, and then we'll be fine.
That's what I'm honestly kind of terrified they're going to do, because if that's what they do, then for people to get their codex at the end of the edition, it's going to be, hey, sorry. Starts to suck.
I'm more scared that if this is the way the Space Marine Codex is going to be, that Dark Angels are going to be a problem when the Space Marine Codex comes out.
Yeah.
Because right now, they're matching most of the top armies at the moment.
Yeah.
So if they're already matching most of the top armies, which the Orks were moving up already after the data slate. So, I mean, they were pretty, in all honesty, some of those armies that were in the top were kind of right where GW talks about wanting them, win percentage wise.
Yeah.
So, adding fuel to the fire with Orks, who were basically up to that point now, is going to be interesting. This is just a guess and just a theoretical guess, but I bet you we see Orks in the 60% win rate after the Codex comes out, and we give it a little bit for people to figure out exactly what they need to run.
At least until people learn how to play around them, yeah. What were you going to say, Brian?
Nothing. I was just saying, everybody's picking on my armies.
Well, I said they weren't going to be a problem until the Codex came out. That's all I said.
I don't even
Also-
run-
But I think Dark Angels, Necrons, well, not even Necrons at this point, they're kind of down. But like Dark Angels, Demons, and Emperor's Children at this point may be the only armies that can really combat the Orks at the level they're going to be at. So
It's okay. I'm just gonna play Beast Snaggers, and nobody's gonna bring any monsters or vehicles, and so none of my special rules are gonna matter. And I'm just gonna hit you with +1 damage on the charge, Squighog boys.
that's funny.
Well, I don't. If you play against my Dark Angels this weekend, I only have one walker.
He's
See,
bringing
there
a
you go.
walker, and he's bringing. What was the other thing you brought that was basically a tank? You brought the walker, and
Well, I'm not going to bring the flyer because I painted some Inceptors. The land
okay,
speeder.
all right. He brought the land speeder and the thing, and he was like, "I'm not bringing any tanks." And I was like, "I don't know if I consider a dreadnought not a tank." Like when you say I'm not bringing any tanks, I'm expecting all infantry. I'm not expecting there to be a dreadnought there.
See, I can't bring my orcs against you this weekend because if I bring my orcs against you this weekend, I don't have points for them, and I want to use these new rules.
Well, let me just tell you that all the good stuff is at least 50 points more.
Yeah, probably.
Yes,
Look.
you just have to.
I would unironically pay a premium. That's what I hope they do, is make orcs more expensive. Orcs should not be just a horde army. Like, there's so many different ways to play orcs. They've been around for so long.
They should do it like Nids.
Yeah.
They should do it where there are parts of it that's horde, but then you can also take the big stuff and be fine.
Absolutely. And I want to play big, tough, stompy squig boys. That's my version of orcs. I love it. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna really enjoy this Docker rig that I have now, my war track, and my new beast ball or my new big boss. And banner knob. I'm gonna use them all. They're gonna be in my beast snagger colors. But I want to play big stompy squigs.
Yeah.
And I have to paint something orky if I lose this bet.
And I've got to paint
Right.
Captain Titus.
I haven't even got Captain Titus painted.
He'll be my second Ultramarine, and I have no Victrix yet.
I have to get my second Victrix unit put together so I can play it at least once before they get nerfed to where having two of them is worth 300.
I should wait to get my Victrix by Cato and Caius Canorius, and then get a Victrix squad. So I have all the characters that could lead them and no Victrix. That'd be funny.
Oh well.
All right.
I'm going to be buying that model. So anyway,
Any other thoughts, gentlemen, before we wrap things up for the night?
Now,
it was fun having an emergency podcast. We're a real podcast, basically.
Well, mostly this will save us from having to try and do both of them Monday night, so that we can hopefully get these out in a reasonable time to folks. I'll see if I can get this edited tomorrow, because then we'll have all the stuff out while it's people still talking about it. By 2 Mondays, people would have already been over this and on to whatever new thing's been announced.
Right. If we can get it out Saturday, that'll at least.
Well, we'll see.
I was thinking maybe get it out like Monday after the podcast, or maybe the same
okay.
day as the other one comes out.
It might be able to go out Sunday. We don't have anything so far I've had to cut, but I don't know how long it's going to take to render. We'll see.
Yeah. So
But,
be
all right.
on the
Positive,
lookout.
guys.
Be on the lookout. We'll have it out as soon as we can. So.
Mhm. And then Monday night we'll talk about data sheets.
Yep, and that'll come out on the normal time.
Mhm.
That'll come out the normal time Wednesday, or we. No, there's something else coming out this Friday, I think.
I think so, but we'll get it. We'll get it all covered. I also wanted to clarify real quick that both the Kill Rig and the Weird Boy are Psychic level 1. So
Psychic level 1.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I'm really excited to talk about these data sheets. There's some really, really interesting ones in here. And then there's some decent ones. And then, there's the fact that the old Bunka The big head boss Bunka survived somehow and is still in this codex. We can
Fair
talk
enough.
about that next week. I kind of want one now. It'd be worthless in so many ways, but also, it's a fortification. When do we ever get to play fortifications? We play casually. We should get some fortifications. Brian, you should buy a Hammerfall bunker.
I need to buy some Convergence of Dominance.
Yeah. I'll get a Tidewall gun line for the Tau.
I'll have it drop in the center of the board, and it won't have an EOC, and we'll just have to work around it.
Yeah.
Not if I put a Geomancer in the center of the board and has 12-inch denial.
There you go. All right, then, gentlemen.
RJ just likes to kill the fun for everybody.
Just for you. Just Ultramarines. Just for Ultramarines.
Just for
There you go.
Ultramarines.
Maybe for demons a little bit.
They'll get their time.
See, I'm so torn with demons because I can't go against the demon list, but also I love going against the demon list because I think Chaos Demons are super cool. Like, oh yes, please murder all my things. At least you get to look very cool when you do it.
Well, the funny thing is, they kind of look like all your army, gray.
They're not all
Damn.
gray. You
Oh,
didn't
I'm
see the
sorry.
Space Wolf. I forgot to post those pictures of the Space Wolf. Anyway, we should wrap this up.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, let's wait till we're offline before I insult you some more.
That's fair. Until next time, then, I've been Trey.
I'm Brian, and I don't have as many gray models as Trey has.
And I'm RJ, and I don't have any gray models.
I think if we just look at the math of it, there's no way you could, Brian.
Brian has gray models. He has a couch of shame. I don't want to hear it. Anyways.
I collect 15 more armies than you do, Brian.
Yeah, but I got like 10,000 points just sitting in my living room.
We don't need to do this number comparison thing. I don't need to be reminded how much I've spent.
All right, how about
Anyway.
I've got more put together there. You have more gray put together than we have. Never mind. I give up. Go
I'm
ahead.
looking forward
Let's end the show.
to seeing your orc. Until next time.